Alright, so the Microsoft showcase has come and went. The last of the three showcases and the last of the three videos that I'm covering. I know there was other ones. There's smaller ones like the PC show and all the other ones, but last year I sat through those and it was a whole lot of nothing. And I know there's other announcements. There was like a announcement for like one of the Godzilla games on the PS2, which was getting remastered, which I thought was kind of funny, as I loved those games as a kid. Though it's not the one that I played, but still I thought that was funny. But so there's announcements like that stuff, but I just don't think it warrants an entire video about. So since I did the other two, and since there was a lot here that I had to say about, I figure I'd do this one as well. Overall, I don't know what the general consensus is online about this showcase. I think again, it's like the Summer Games Fest one, where it's like am kind of in the middle, trending towards positive. I probably like the Summer Games Fest one a little more than this, just because I think it had a bit more new stuff. There's a lot of stuff, like a lot of like old like DLC and a lot of other stuff for games that already exist. And I mean, the Summer Games Fest had that shit too, but like there was a lot less of it. It seemed like. I don't think there was any announcements where I was like, "Oh man, that looks fucking good. That looks awesome." Well, there was one, but which we'll get to. You know, for the most part, there wasn't really a whole lot of like holy shit announcements, and a lot of the stuff was stuff that we already knew about, or it's just DLC for stuff that's already out. Which I mean, good for the people that play those games, but when you're trying to, sell your brand, it's not really something I think that's worth wasting time in a showcase like this for. There was a decent amount of stuff that I liked in the showcase, so in general, those are my thoughts, but we'll go into the game by game thing like we did with the other ones. First thing they showcased is Gears of War E-Day. I never played, well, I did play Gears of War 2 back in the day. I don't remember much about it. I do remember, the only parts I remember about it are the scene with, I don't know if I should spoil it. I know it's like a 20-year-old game. I won't spoil it. I know it's like a 20-year-old game, but I won't be an asshole. The scene with Dom and his wife, when you find his wife, you rescue her. I'm sure people who played the game know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, because that's a pretty fucked up scene, and it's a scene that sticks with you. I won't spoil it. And then a scene with another character that dies. It was the fan favorite character that they brought back in the third game with no explanation as to how he came back, and it kind of pissed me off because like I thought that scene with him was impactful in the second game. But other than that, I don't remember much about it. I don't know what that says about the game. Maybe it wasn't of good quality if I don't remember it, but it's been a long time. This looks good. It looks weird to see him not like in ridiculously over the top power armor that's like 3 times the size of a normal human body. But look, it looks good. I think the gun sounds could use a little work. I mean, the gun sounds are pretty important in games like this. And the shotgun sounded pretty good, but like the machine gun and everything else just didn't sound very good. It is early on. I mean, they can still tighten that stuff up. We still have a few months up till release, so there's definitely still time for them to get some better gun sounds in there. But overall, I mean, I hate prequels. I've said that in these past videos that I've made. So I still do hate prequels, but I don't remember much about the first and second game. So I could play this game, then play the first game that they remastered that's on PC that I've never played, and then because I was kind of waiting for this because I don't want to play Gears 1 and then go back and play this. It just seemed kind of stupid. But I can play this, I can play that, and then hopefully they remaster 2 because 2 is the one I played as a kid, and that's the one that I really want to play. So hopefully they remastered that game, even though I don't remember much about it, but I do remember really, really liking it, and I do remember those scenes. So, look, that's the one I'm really holding out for, but, this looks fun. I'll probably play it just because I like third-person shooters if they're done well. I don't like them as much as first-person, but I still like them. We'll see. I like how the combat was a little bit quicker. It wasn't just, like, hide behind cover and shoot. Like, you could slide, you can, like, vault over things, you could jump, but you could vault over things in the original, I know. But I don't know. It just seemed like there was a little bit more flanking and, like, a little bit more mobility in the combat this time around, which I like, because I definitely like my shooters to be a bit more mobile. Yeah, it looks good. Hopefully it will be good. I don't know if I'll play it on day one. I might. There's a lot of games coming out in September, so it's kind of hard because of fucking GTA's just pushed everything off to the side. Fucking, there's so many games to play in September and February. It's hard to say definitively, oh yeah, I'll play this one, even if when it looks good, because there's just so fucking much. But yeah, I probably will play it. The next game they showed, Fable. Now I don't think they showed any gameplay footage. It's all just CGI bullshit, which, again, well, I won't say again because I don't think I've said it before, but I am concerned for this game. They did show an extended gameplay showcase, so yeah, I guess it is marketing. Maybe I'm just being stupid. I probably am, because I am definitely regarded. Look, I'm looking forward to Fable. I love the Fable games when I was a kid. 2 definitely more than 3. Never played the first one. The first one was a bit before my time, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna play this anyway, even though this doesn't show us anything. This is a bit of a darker trailer, I will show that. Fable's always had a thing where it's like the world and the setting itself is pretty lighthearted, but like some of the plots, as far as the main quest lines and like some of the side quests and stuff go, can get pretty dark. So one of those things where it's lighthearted at first, but when you start getting deeper into it, it starts getting, you start to see there's a bit of a darker core underneath. So, and I think that's what this trailer is meant to showcase. Maybe there were people that were worried about the tone, but yeah, looks good. I'm gonna play the game anyway. You know, I'm an RPG fucking fanatic, and I play almost every fucking RPG that comes out. I mean, not every RPG, but it's my favorite genre of game, and I play a lot of RPGs, so Fable has never been one of my favorites, but it's always been one I enjoyed, so, you know, we'll check it out. I'm definitely curious to see, you know, if it's any good or not. Next, they showcase Halo. By the way, I kind of fucked up the footage, so bear with me. It's only for the next, like, 2 games, and then I fixed it, so I really didn't feel like going back and re-recording just this shit. So just deal with it for a little bit, and it'll be back to normal briefly. And by the way, yeah, that is how I get this footage. I don't know if other YouTubers just like download the video or whatever the fuck they do, but I just like record the shit as I watch it, and then, or sometimes after I watch it. Better way to do it, let me know in the comments, please. They showcased Halo. And it's funny, because I just played through Halo, the first Halo game, like a couple years ago for a video. I was gonna play through them all for the first time, and then I never played through the second game. I think I got stuck on the Arbiter level, and then I got busy playing other shit, and I just never went back. But on the second game, I did play through the first game entirely. This whole thing of remastering this game seems kind of baffling to me, because when I played it, even like 20 years or whatever the fuck after it came out, it still holds up, like, surprisingly well. Like, sure, there's no sprint button. Sure, it can seem a bit dated as far as level design goes, where, like, half the game is pretty much just the first half of the game, but backwards. But I still think it holds up surprisingly well, so it kind of baffles me, and it's always baffled me a little bit, their decision to remaster this, when there's a perfectly fine remaster in the Anniversary Collection, or whatever it's called, the Master Chief Collection. I don't know. The whole thing seems kind of desperate. You know, it's like what Ubisoft is doing, like, shit, fuck, we're going down. We need just remaster what everyone likes. Just put that shit out there, because you know people buy that. That's what this kind of reeks of to me. But hey, you know, it'll probably be good, because the first Halo was good. But I don't know, man. Xbox can't seem to get fucking Halo right. The Halo studios that they got working on it now, 343, I think it still is. They still ain't got it right. You know, they fucked up. I thought they had it right with Halo 5, and they did, but then they never put in more maps, and they fucked that game up bad, like, so bad. The netcode sucked, Limited sucked. The gameplay itself was so good, too. It pissed me the fuck off, because I like Halo. Like, I want it to be good. I like it more than, like, Call of Duty, even, because, like, I like the slower time to kill when it comes to, like, multiplayer shooters. But 5 I played for a while, but they just never added more maps. And they didn't have a whole lot of maps to begin with. The netcode sucked. And the fucking, they never fixed the fucking bullshit aim assist on controllers. And it made you have to play controllers to even have a chance, and I don't like playing with controllers. You know, that's for more multiplayer shit. I don't know why I went off on this wild tangent, but it would, you know how I do in my videos. But yeah, this will probably, I don't know, this might be good, might be bad. I don't know if I'll play this just because I mean, I like first-person shooters, though, and I do like Halo, but it's like, it just seems kind of pointless. I know there's new missions. I know they're, like, redoing the cutscenes and all that other stuff, but, like, there were cutscenes in the old game, but it just wasn't you know, up to the standard. When you look at like the cutscenes they added in like 2 and 3 in the Master Chief Collection, it's like, whoa, holy shit! Like that looks like a modern day game that like just released. You know, I could see them doing that for, you know, Halo 1 and bringing it up to that standard. But I don't know. We'll see. That's all I gotta say. We'll see. Maybe I'll play it. This game is another game that's coming out in September, isn't it? So there's gonna be a lot of shit coming out. No, it's July. Wait, what? Oh, July 28th. Okay, so maybe I will. If there's nothing else coming out around that time, I might play it. That's smart, actually, because, you know, they need to stay the fuck away from September. I'll tale you that much. Plague Tale. Look, I don't really care about Plague Tale, and I'm not gonna start a game in the third game. Maybe it's a prequel. I don't know. Look, it's not my thing, but it looked really cool, though. I like the combat. The combat looked really visceral. At first, I was like, what is this? This looks actually kind of cool, but, I don't know. Next game, they showed some anime stuff. Look, I'm not going to talk shit about it, because I know people get really excited about this. I know these Persona announcements, because there's a lot of hype online. Look, I just don't like anime. I went over it in my other videos. I'm not going to retread shit too much, but I don't like it. I don't watch anime. I don't play JRPGs because I don't like JRPGs either. They're too linear. They're too long for how linear they are. Not my bag. I'm happy for those of you. I'm happy for you, for those of you who like it. But I hate being that asshole. It's like, oh, I don't like anime, but it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I'll tell you what I do like with the next game that they showed, State of Decay 3. I didn't play the second game, but I did play the first game. I had a lot of fun, dude. I played a lot of the first game on the original Xbox 360, because that was a long time ago. I remember it being like having like a free demo or something on like the Xbox Arcade. You know, I was one of those kids where I was broke and I didn't have any money for games. I didn't want to play any of the games I had, even though I had a shit ton of games. And I downloaded the arcade game, and then I played it for like an hour or two. I was like, holy shit, this kicks ass. And so, you know, I ended up buying it and at some point, and dude, I put a lot of time into it. I normally don't like these kind of survival crafting base building games like at all, but something about State of Decay, I think it was like the NPCs, how you could like find NPCs out. I don't want to say out in the wild, but that's kind of how it was. Out in the wild and kind of recruit them to your base and kind of build your base up. You know, you could build towers and other facilities to help you get better weapons and upgrade your gear and stuff. And I just really like that aspect. I think that's what it takes for me, because I do normally hate base building survival stuff. But like when you have NPCs that move in and like make stuff that help you progress and get better weapons and other stuff, it makes it feel like you're not just wasting your time, or you're not just building a bigger base just to have a bigger base. There's an actual point to building it out. So I think that's what it takes for me, because I mentioned this to a friend of mine, and he's like, oh, I thought you hated survival crafting games. And I had to think about it, because I was like, yeah, I do hate survival crafting games, you're right, but for some reason I don't hate this one. So I had to think about it for a minute. But yeah, I don't know, it looks good. It looks like the action's pretty good. It looks like a bit more hectic than what I remember. I remember the State of Decay 1 being a lot more like melee focused. This looks like it's a lot more focused on guns. You know, there's a lot more like horde stuff. There's a lot of zombies on the screen, potentially. There's these weird special infected. I'm not saying it's like Left 4 Dead, but you know, it'll never be as good as that, but I don't think it's trying to be, because it's not trying to be the same kind of game. It's a lot more different genre, I think. Adjacent genre, but different. But yeah, I'm interested, coming out in 2027, but that's kind of the problem. A lot of these games in this showcase is coming out 2027. That's just another kind of brief comment I wanted to make while it's in my head before I forget, and that's kind of a bummer. I get why everyone's trying to get out of the way for GTA 6. I get it, but it still kind of sucks, especially for people who don't care that much about GTA 6. I do, but I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people don't. Look, Sea of Thieves, I don't care. For those of you who like it, I'm happy for you. Yeah, they showed this Metro game. Now, I never played previous Metro games, really. I did play a couple hours of one of them. It was one of the games I rented way back in the day. I think it was like 2033. It was like way back in the day, because I remember renting it from Movie Gallery when those were still around. If people that are older might know what I'm talking about. It wasn't Blockbuster, because Blockbuster was before my time, but it was basically the same concept. You would go there, you'd rent movies, games, and whatnot. And I remember renting it, and I remember playing it for a few hours. I remember getting bored just because it was kind of the same thing over and over. The enemy variety wasn't really there, and the gun variety wasn't really there either. I remember the gunplay being fun, but it just got repetitive, so I never played it. But this looked really good. Maybe I should go back and give it a chance, because I don't want to start the game like in the middle of the series. So, and I know these games are available on PC. So, and I do like first-person shooters a lot. So maybe I do need to go back and play through these games. Maybe I've been missing out. I don't know. Next game they showed Bad Magpie. I don't know what that is. I have nothing to say because I don't know what it is. Not my kind of game. Looks like a goose game kind of thing. I don't care. Wolong. Wolong 2. I never played the first one. I know Team Ninja, they make like the more character action spectacle stuff, and you know I'm not really into that stuff. So next game, they showed this cult game. What is this cult game called? Join Us. This looks kind of fun. I know people might call me stupid. They might say this looks like fucking complete and utter dog shit, but I don't know, man. I think it could be fun. It looks just ridiculous enough to be kind of fun. I assume like these NPCs that you can recruit aren't like other players, like they're actual like NPCs, and you can assign them to like do stuff. It shows like kind of base building a little bit, where you're like placing a tent and you're having people like grow crops and stuff. This could be kind of fun. It looks so ridiculous and crazy that it just looks fun on that merit. You know, there's like a UFO that shows up at some point. There's like firefights with ATF agents. There's a fucking giant Lovecraftian fucking thing that comes out of the ground. Like, it looks fucking so ridiculous that I don't know, man. It looks like a good time. Call me crazy. Maybe I'm just stupid. Well, no, not maybe. I definitely am stupid. This looks fun to me. It looks so ridiculous and out there that it looks kind of fucking hilarious and kind of fun. Even though I don't really have friends to play this with, you know, that's why they have the NPC system and stuff, so I don't have to, my lonely, pathetic ass don't have to have friends to play with. You know, I guess, like I said, with State of Decay, I'm usually not into this kind of stuff, but this one looks so ridiculous and off the wagon that it kind of looks like something I want to play at least once. Another Senua game, I don't have a lot to say because I've never played these games and I don't really have much interest in them, but I will say I'm glad that they're giving the people that are making these games another chance, because I hate it when, like, studios make really, like, critically acclaimed games or games that a lot of people like, and then they make one bad game that people don't like or that doesn't sell well, and they just get immediately shut down. That shit pisses me the fuck off. Especially when you have fucking studios out here like Bethesda and BioWare that are still fucking kicking around somehow, that haven't made a good game in fucking 10 plus years, 15 plus years. And it breaks my heart to say that, because I love those two companies. Those were my two favorite companies growing up. Speaking of Bethesda, that was the next thing they showed. That's actually a perfect segue. Every time Bethesda showed up showcase, it basically sucked any kind of hype, any kind of excitement, any kind of momentum out of the room. Just completely just gone. Just hit a fucking wall. Every time Bethesda showed up. Really goes to show, it really is just in a nutshell the state of the company at this point. You know, they've made such good games, and they still have such an avid fan base, dude. Advertisement for a Fallout 76 expansion that no one likes, by the way. You can look at the reviews on Steam. No one likes this shit. Alright, even the people that play Fallout 76 don't really like this shit. They continue to obsess about it. This whole thing, I'm not going to be talking about the expansion. I don't give a shit about Fallout 76. I'm just going to use this as an excuse to tirade for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Fallout is more culturally relevant than it's ever been. To the point where you can go to the store and you can see Sarsaparilla drinks with Fallout fucking logos stamped on it. So ingrained in pop culture, it's having such a moment because of the TV show, that you have normies that have never even heard of Fallout that know of it because they see the Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle on the store at the grocery store. Despite this, they are completely fucking wasting the relevance that this fucking series had, the pop culture relevance, the fact that it's in the zeitgeist. And every time they're questioned about it, what are you doing with Fallout? You know, I mean, everyone knows about it now. It's super popular. You know, you gotta have something planned. It's like, well, we have all these 76 updates, and they just obsess over 76, just 76. It's like, dude, fuck Fallout 76. No one gives a fuck about Fallout 76. I'm tired of that shit, man. It's so fucking annoying. As someone who loves Fallout and loves this company, or used to love this company, it's so fucking annoying seeing them just Every single thing they do these days is just a fumble and just pisses me off. Hence the point where these are like the lowlights. Like the worst parts of the showcase almost was when Bethesda was on screen. The fucking worst parts of the entire showcase are when Bethesda is showing their shit off. That's the state of the company. That's how shitty the company has gotten at this point. I hate being that negative. I know people are gonna call me stupid and whiny and bitchy for saying all these things, but I fucking loved this company, man. It pisses me off. I wouldn't get this animated and aggravated to go on this long ass tirade about it if I didn't care. And I still do care because they still own Fallout and they're doing nothing with the IP. So unfortunately, I have to still care about the company because they still own one of my favorite IPs. And I know people, despite the fact that all it is for them is a fucking Fallout 76 now, like. And I know they're working on the remaster, dude. I don't want to hear about that shit. Alright, they had the opportunity to show that shit in this showcase. They didn't show it. Alright, so fuck the remaster at this point. And fuck with this company. Seriously, like, I hate the fact that they own Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I hate the fact that they own these fucking franchises at this. It's like with fucking BioWare and Mass Effect. It's the same shit. Rant over. I got nothing to say about this stupid fucking update with 76. Look, I have nothing against the people who play 76, but it pisses me off that that's all Fallout it seems to be to Bethesda now. But anyway, look, rant over. Despite all that shit I just talked, I'm gonna actually say some good things about Bethesda. Kinda, sorta, a little bit, with some caveats, because that's about the best that Bethesda can seem to get these days. More importantly, id Software with the next game they showed, Doom. Man, I'm getting better at these segues, aren't I? I can't play the Dark Ages. Doom Eternal is one of my favorite games of all time. Like top 10. Like that's how much I love Doom Eternal. I'm not even kidding. I absolutely adore Doom Eternal. It's one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. Like full stop. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's like in that tier of like, it might be. I don't know. But despite that, I can't play Dark Ages because you need ray tracing, and I don't have ray tracing because I don't have $1,800 for a new graphics card because I am a broke boy, and I just said so. Sucks because this looks really good. Dude, the fucking music in this goddamn trailer kicks ass. I always love the fucking music for the fucking Doom games. It really is fucking awesome. I love the Doom games anyway. Like this, it sucks that this is one of the highlights of the show for me, and I can't play it because I don't have a ray tracing card, and id Software apparently hates broke people, or they hate broke people that game on PC specifically, I should say. So, sucks, but, for those who can play it, it looks good. When I finally update my graphics card, at some point, I'll get to play it. It is what it is. I guess I'll just keep playing Doom Eternal. It's not, anyway, next game they showed was Crazy Taxi. I had this game on Dreamcast, and I don't really remember playing it much. I think I was too young. I don't really care much about it. For those who do, arcade racing, I don't know when this is coming out. They got this fucking this classic Xbox that is basically just a PC. And I know the consoles are pretty much PCs at this point anyway. But, like, this is kind of taking it to a whole new level. Like, you look at the box, and it's like, holy shit, it's literally just a PC. Like, my tower looks like that, except it doesn't have a disk drive, and it's a lot bigger, and it's not green. It's kind of funny to me, just how much it looks like a PC. Look, I'm not talking shit. I just thought it was funny. I think it's sad that the people that'll get it are going to be mostly scalpers that end up selling it for 3 to 4 times, what it ends up selling for at first, what Xbox ends up selling it for. You people gotta stop buying that shit, man. You gotta stop fucking rewarding these scalping scumbags for doing this shit, dude. Because as long as you keep buying this shit, they're gonna keep doing it. And that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna have their little fucking bot programs to get these things within a fucking millisecond of going up, unfortunately, sadly. Because it's gonna be a limited run in their own, you know how things are, dude. People are fucking scumbags, dude. Don't buy from scalpers. If you get lucky enough to actually get one, which you probably won't, but if you somehow manage to do that, I would play the lottery that day as well, because you have completely ridiculous, outstanding luck if you do that program. I hope you have fun with your collector's item, but for the scalpers, fuck you. I hope you fucking get a horrible fucking brain prion disease that's uncurable and fucking die a slow rabies-like death. And that's really fucking horrible to say, but I fucking hate scalpers. Fuck those people. before I get off on another fucking long ass tangent, Age of Empires. I never played these games as a kid, but you know, for those of you who play Age of Empires 4, it's there. Minecraft game. I don't like ARPGs, and I don't have anything to say about it. For those people who like ARPGs and like Minecraft, or they have kids probably who want to play it, and they can play it with their kids. Seems like it'd be good for that. I will never have kids because I am way too pathetic of a human. Next game, Deal with the Devil. This is some like magician game, but I will say it is original. I don't think I've really seen another game like this. Gave me like Dishonored vibes almost, kind of. Or almost like Bioshock, kind of. Not the same kind of art style, but it looked like a similar kind of thing. With like the character design and like the way things looked. Look, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I like first-person games, typically, so it looks like something I want to play. It definitely is original, and you gotta support new IP that's original. I've never heard of these people that are making it. Focus and Uppercut. Yeah, I don't know who either of those people are, so I don't know any of the games they made before. Again, if I were an actual YouTuber that was worth a damn, I would actually look that up, but I am not. The next game they showed, I don't know what this was. Valor Mortis. A game with Napoleon as the protagonist. That's a very interesting choice, I gotta say. I think it's the first game we've ever had where we play as Napoleon. Can someone confirm that? Besides shit like Total War and stuff like that. Like, it's the first game. I mean, even in Total War, you more control Napoleon than play as him. So I'm pretty sure this is the first game where you play as Napoleon, so that's something. Look, this is like an all CGI trailer mostly. Yeah, in-game footage and cinematics. So they did show like little snippets of gameplay. I don't know if this is like third person or first person. I don't even really know what this is. This is a really weird looking game. I don't know if it's like Lovecraftian or... I don't know, it's very strange. It kind of reminds me of Dishonored, honestly. Especially with like the sword and the gun. Dishonored had like that thing where you could have a sword or a crossbow in one hand and then a gun in the other. And like the way that the other world works, where they just had like this suspended platforms and things. I don't know, it gave me Dishonored vibes. Which isn't exactly a bad thing, because I really love Dishonored, but I don't know, could be interesting. I wonder what it's going to be priced at, because that's the main thing with these games, is like if they're at the right price and they're fun enough to play, then one more level in lyrics. I don't know who made those game studios are either, so, but it looks interesting. I'll probably try it out. Again, even though it's in September, I'll probably try it. It's hard to definitively say that given how packed that month is. Again, another Bethesda thing. Like I said, you're getting some momentum. You're like, man, Valor Mortis, that kind of looks cool. You know, I might play that. And then Bethesda comes and just sucks all the air out of the room. Like, hey, here's some ESO garbage. But look, I have nothing against ESO. I've never played it because I think I said this in my last video. I've never really played MMOs outside of 2. And this wasn't one of them. So, I don't care, even though I am super into Elder Scrolls. The reasons I'm into it are not compatible with a multiplayer environment. It's like Fallout 76. I love Fallout, but the things I love about Fallout, you know, being able to make decisions that matter and side with certain factions and things like that, aren't really easy to do in a multiplayer environment. Again, for people who play it, you know, I'm happy for you, but I mean, it's not something I'm into. Elder Scrolls, you know what people really want. I know they're working on it, but it's like, and Fallout is more egregious in my opinion, just because they had the show where like more people know about fucking Fallout than ever, and they're just wasting that fucking moment. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. They get some momentum and Bethesda takes it away because Bethesda's just kind of a shitty company now. I know the truth hurts, but that is the way it be sometimes. Next game they showed, Microsoft Flight Sim. Don't got shit to say. It's pretty niche, and I'm not in that niche, but for those who are, I'm happy for you. Oh yeah, okay, this Castlevania game. Now, I've always been kind of a fan of the Castlevania games. I played the Game Boy games when I was a kid, and those were fucking fantastic from what I remember. Symphony of the Night is one of my favorite, like, platform Metroidvania games. That game is also fantastic. It has aged, like, incredibly well. It is still fun to play to this day. The animations look fluid. I wasn't sure if I said that right. The boss fights look really cool. They got death in there. I'm happy. They gotta have the Grim Reaper. The environments look pretty cool. I like the art style. It's like this beautiful, like hand-drawn, gothic type art style. And it looks like each area kind of has a different shade, at least from what it looks like. It does kind of like the Hollow Knight thing, where each area has a different color that it kind of goes for and kind of themes around. You got the red area, you got the green area, you got the purple, like castle-like area. It looks good. I'll definitely play this. And this is coming out at the perfect time, too. This is coming out at Halloween, which Castlevania, that was always been a video idea that I've had, too. Except there's too many fucking Castlevania games, so I don't know how I could do it. But, like, I could do, like, a Castlevania retrospective or make a video about the good Castlevania games or something for, like, a Halloween episode or something. I don't know. Because it really is, because you'd think it'd be just, like, vampires, but it's not. It's like they got the Grim Reaper in there, there's werewolves, there's like Medusa, there's all kinds of like Halloween flavored things. It's the perfect Halloween thing, so I'm glad it's releasing in October, and I'll definitely play it just for that, because Halloween is my favorite holiday, so it'll be a good thing to kind of get me in the Halloween mood. Next, they showed some weird experimental anime thing. Look, it's not my kind of thing. Not the kind of thing I'm into. I'm not into really the kind of cozy stuff, and I'm not really into the anime stuff either. I've never watched the animes that these are modeled after. I've never watched, like, what is this, like the Miyazaki stuff, right? I've never watched it. I do know that it's kind of like a distinct art style, but for people who like that, I'm happy for you. It's not really my thing. As well, and saying that, you could probably guess as well that the next game they showed also wasn't my thing. Look, again, you Persona people, I know you're happy for this, you're hyped, you've been waiting, and I'm happy for you, but I'm not going to repeat what I said with the last Persona thing. Not my thing, but I'm happy for you. Next game they showed a Spyro game. I don't know, it seemed like this is just a flying game. If it's just a flying game, that's kind of lame. I don't know, I've always liked Crash more than Spyro, but I still had a soft spot for the Spyro games on the PlayStation, so because I did play them, even though they were before my time a little bit. I still like would go to places and like go to friends' house who had them. And I remember my aunt and uncle, they had a PS1, and every time we would visit for summer, we would go again. And video game rental stores were still a thing back then, so we would go to them and we would pick up games. And I remember I picked up Crash, I picked up Spyro. I picked up this Looney Tune game where you were Wile E. Coyote and you had to like fucking steal a sheep. It was a weird game. Remembered Crash and Spyro because those were the actual like really good games, obviously, that I really liked. But yeah, so look, it looks interesting. I hope it's not just flying. I hope you can actually land and walk around and there's more like platforming stuff. You know, it is what it is. I have a friend that's super into Spyro. I'm sure he'll get a kick out of that. Alright, and they ended the show with Clockwork, which is funny because that's, well, not really funny, but it's interesting. It probably is my most anticipated game, like, outside of GTA for the next, like, year. If this actually does come out in 2027. I have my doubts that it will, but it might. I don't know. We'll see. And I say that because it's inXile, and I know what inXile is capable of. I know what they can do. I played Wasteland 3. While Wasteland 3 isn't one of my favorite RPGs of all time, the way that it does, like, choice and consequence and, like, actually making your choices matter is better than almost any other RPG I've ever played. I think the only other RPG that comes close in terms of, like, choice and consequence that actually matter and affect things and change the game is Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Because in that game, like, the entire last act changes. Like, the entire goal changes almost, depending on what you're doing. So, actually, it does change. And Wasteland 3 is a very similar thing, where it's like, depending on the side that you the factions that you side with and your actions throughout the game, like, your entire goal at the end can change. So, they do a really good job with that. The time travel thing does kind of, you know, put me off a little bit, but if there is one developer that can do the time travel thing and actually make it work, and like I said, make it matter, what you do in the past affects the future and stuff, because that's obviously the gimmick. I would trust inXile with it because they did a great job with it with Wasteland 3. So, look, it is probably my most anticipated game next year. They didn't really show anything that we didn't know about. I do like that there's RPG elements still. They showed them like going up to a lever, but there was like a skill check. It was kind of like Outer Worlds where you go up to a lever and you have to have like a certain amount of skill points in hacking to do it or whatever. But and I always love that stuff because I'm an RPG whore. Yeah, dude, this game looks. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of time travel stuff, but like I know that inXile can do a really good job. We'll see how the writing is. The writing in Wasteland 3 was kind of hit or miss. The companions were kind of shallow and such, but again, there was a lot of flaws with Wasteland 3, but I still did really, really enjoy that game, despite the flaws that it had. So, again, which is why this game, outside of GTA 6, is probably my most anticipated, because I can see the potential. I know what inXile has done before. Wasteland 3 was a CRPG, which I love CRPGs, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite genres, but I do also understand that I'm a fucking weirdo who likes that shit, and most people don't like reading walls of text, and they don't like playing CRPGs. I think Baldur's Gate 3 was kind of a weird exception, and that's just because it was kind of like mocapped out and voice acted. So hopefully more people will be exposed to inXile, and they'll get more funding, and they can do more stuff from this game. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, dude. I like the tone. I saw some people complaining that the writing was like a little bit millennial, like it's like some millennial writing thing, and I don't think so. I think millennial writing to me is when like you take like a situation that should be serious or that is normally taken serious, and you try to inject like quirkiness or like wackiness into it. Like the God of War thing is a good example, right? Because it's like this series that's normally pretty serious, and takes itself pretty seriously. Now it's like a talking cube that's quirky and oh look behind you and all that stuff. Like it doesn't fit. But like for something like this, it seems like the whole thing is wacky and irreverent and doesn't really take itself all that seriously. So it doesn't really it's not really off-putting in the same way, at least for me. But to each their own. Maybe to other people it does come off as kind of like Marvel writing and quirky and millennial. I'm still looking forward to it. Just because I really did like their last game. And I'm an RPG whore anyway, so I play almost every RPG that comes out. So I was going to play it regardless. We'll follow that off with another baffling decision. So what was it that they said in Far Cry 3 about doing the same thing over and over again? So they ended with Call of Duty, and they did the same shit last year. I can't remember if I still have that video up on this channel or not. You can, if I do, you can go and look at it because it's fucking ridiculous. Because they did the same shit. They end on Call of Duty, and look, I'm not gonna talk shit about Call of Duty. I dipped my toe in once and again. Last year's was fucking garbage, though. Oh my god, that fucking shit. I don't know how that shit got released. They really just don't give a fuck with this series anymore, and that really kind of proved it with that fucking dog shit that they released last year that they call Call of Duty. Yeah, Call of Duty, you're really putting the duty in that name, because by God, that game was one big pile of shit. Who needs to design actual campaign missions and levels when you can just reuse multiplayer maps? It just baffles me, the decisions they made when they made that game. Regardless, getting off track, because that's what I do. Look, I'm not going to talk shit about it. The thing is, the people that are watching this showcase, they don't care about Call of Duty. And the people that care about Call of Duty, they aren't watching this showcase. Most of the people that are still into Call of Duty and still playing it, they probably get like 2, maybe 3 games a year. They don't play this shit. Well, they play Call of Duty, but they don't play like a lot of other games. They're not like me or probably a lot of the other people that are watching this showcase. So it baffles me that they think that it's still a good idea to end the show with this. I don't understand, man. It's baffling. It truly is. Look, it looks like Call of Duty. About the actual, I don't know what to say. They put this filter on. I will say, this fucking shit where they have the dialogue over and these people actually role-playing like that shit doesn't fucking happen. If it was accurate, instead of people like actually, doing what they do in this video, there'd be some fucking asshole like eating chips on the mic, just And you have some other asshole playing really shitty rap music in the background that keeps cutting in and out because it's kind of far away from the speaker. You have some other guy whose microphone is just really shitty, so there's just like a constant static, and it's muffled when he talks. And then every time someone talks, instead of in this video, we're like, oh God, I need backup now. Go, we gotta go. Like fucking role playing. People don't do that shit. And instead of doing that shit, it'd be like, well, there'd be some racial slurs first of all that I can, especially in Call of Duty game. I'm definitely can't say here. And so I definitely can't make it accurate to what it really be, but added with some racial slurs, it also, and some other, bigoted shit, it also be shit like, man, this is bullshit, man. These enemies keep, who the fuck is this guy? That weapon sucks. Oh, man, if I had a better weapon, I would have capped that guy. Oh yeah, sure you would, buddy. I would have, I swear. Man, you keep going down, man. Why I gotta help your bitch ass? It's not my fault, man. My weapon's like... That's the kind of conversation it would be. It wouldn't be this shit like, we gotta go to the exfil, guys! Like, role-playing, like they're actually there and shit. It's like, dude, people don't do that shit. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. That always amused me. It made me flash back to, like, previous E3s. They used to do this all the time at E3. These out-of-touch executives. They'd be like, oh, man, is this how the kids talk when they're playing their video games? Like, no. No, it's not, dude. You're fucking stupid. It does make me laugh, though. It is pretty funny. It's good for a laugh, if nothing else. I do still find it amusing, even if it is cringe. It's funny and amusing because it's cringe. I'll put it that way. All in all, I think maybe I didn't give this enough credit, because there was a lot of stuff they showed here that I liked. There was, like, the Doom stuff, even though I can't play it, and there's, like, that Valor Mortis game, that Magician game, obviously fucking Clockwork. I always love to see that Castlevania game. So, like, there was a lot of stuff here. The State of Decay game. There was a lot of stuff here that I actually really liked. So maybe I did like it a bit more in the Summer Games Fest. Maybe just by a tad. Overall, my thoughts are I think it was a pretty good showcase. Not great. Not amazeballs. Not anything that's going to completely, like, fucking, holy shit, that was awesome. But, I think it was still fine. Or I think it was still good. I would still put it as good. It was probably my favorite of the showcases, probably. But, again, still not something where I feel like it's just non-stop praise. I mean, you're not going to get non-stop praise when you end with fucking Call of Duty, dude. Especially with that cringe-ass bullshit. Again, it is kind of funny, but still. Come on, man. What are we doing? But, yeah, that's it for this video. Now that I've covered all three, I got other videos coming on other topics. I'm not trying to make this like a news channel type thing. This was mostly just a thing to see if I could make this kind of video for these kinds of showcases. How much work it was, kind of test videos to be honest. But I got more videos of other kinds coming, so subscribe for that. Subscribe to my other channel for videos on like other non-video game shit. But until next time, this is Unfiltered Ascent signing out. Thanks for watching, guys.